perfect participles. Participles have been explained in a different video. We have present participles and past participles. Present participles are those forms of verbs which have ing ending and which are used as adjectives, like interesting, amazing. And past participles are those forms of verbs which have ed endings for regular verbs, and of course then different endings for the irregular verbs, like written documents, then completed work, that way. So when we use these present and past participles like adjectives, we call them participles in grammar. So perfect participles. Now, what are perfect participles? We're going to practice that today. So perfect participles, like some action, whatever action it was, it got over in the past and then something else happened. So how do we frame those sentences? So it's all about a completed action at some time in the past. For instance, the children went out to play after finishing their homework. So this can be put in a different manner. Having finished their homework, the children went out to play. So having finished, having done their work, having submitted their report, the employees went out. So having finished their homework, the children went out to play. And then after saying that, I would like to move on to the next point now. So having said that, the next action is no. Having said that, the next point is no. Having said that, there are various other things to be looked at, no. These are all wrong sentence constructions because they have those dangling modifiers which have been explained in a different video. So no. Perfect. When we talk about perfect participles, action got over in the past. So having said that, because after saying that, I've said this and now I'll be moving on to something else. So having said that, I would like to move on to the next point now. Another one. I lost my passport and so I applied for a new one. So one action got over in the past. So how can we put it? Another way of putting it, that is, having lost my passport, I applied for a new one. So it is having lost, having said, having done, having explained. Now, having explained this or having revised this, I would like to move on to a different topic now. So when we have that kind of sentences that I have explained or I have done this or I did that. So one action, and we are talking about a completed action in the past. So how to put that? Using participles. So we have perfect participles, something called as perfect participles. So having lost my passport, I applied for a new one. This is the way we have these sentences. And then he was dissatisfied with his job. Now here we are not talking about any action. We are talking about a state, right? A completed state. He was dissatisfied with his job and so he applied for a new one. So he was dissatisfied. So how do we put it? Not having been dissatisfied, no. Being dissatisfied with his job, he applied for a new one. So when we talk about a state, we start the sentences like this, being this, being that, being dissatisfied. But when we have any action, then having said, having done, having been there, again in a state, how can we have that having? Like I was there or I was in New Delhi for 5 years. And so, or maybe I had been in New Delhi for 5 years and so I asked for a change of place. So having been in Delhi for 5 years, I asked for my posting. That's the way we have these perfect participles.